Hi, I'm Ethan. I've always been the guy who shows up for family no matter what. Growing up, my sister Rachel and I were inseparable, despite the 3-year age gap. She'd always let me tag along with her friends, even when most older sisters would have found their little brother annoying. "You're never going to believe what happened yesterday," I said, sprawled across Rachel's couch. We were having our weekly coffee meetup, a tradition we'd kept since I moved across town. "Try me," she grinned, tucking her feet under her. "Melissa's mom called me at work to ask if I could help move her new sofa this weekend. When I said I was busy with your wedding stuff, she sighed like I'd personally ruined her day. Diane, the drama queen, strikes again. You know she only bought that sofa to make you move it, right? 100%. I swear she times these things perfectly. Ever since I married Melissa 2 years ago, my mother-in-law Diane had made it her mission to make my life difficult. Small things at first. Criticizing my job, questioning my intentions with her daughter. But lately it felt like something more targeted. "How's Melissa handling all this?" Rachel asked, her expression softening. "She's caught in the middle. I try not to push it because I know how manipulative Diane can be. Melissa spent her whole life trying to please her mom. Hard habit to break." The wedding planning had brought out the worst in Diane. She'd somehow inserted herself into every decision, even though Rachel barely knew her. "You know I want you as my unofficial man of honor, right?" Rachel said suddenly. "Seriously? What about Megan?" "She's maid of honor, but you're just as important. I've already told Jake. He thinks it's awesome." I couldn't hide my smile. Jake was a good guy, one of the reasons I was so excited about this wedding. "Just don't tell me I have to wear the same dress as the bridesmaids." "Don't tempt me." She threw a pillow at my head. The day of the wedding arrived with perfect weather. I helped Melissa zip up her burgundy dress that morning, stealing a kiss. "You look amazing." "So do you, my handsome man." She straightened my tie, but her smile seemed forced. "Everything okay?" "Of course, just wedding jitters for Rachel." Something felt off, but I brushed it aside. This was my sister's day. We arrived at the venue early. I helped set up last-minute details and checked on Rachel, who looked radiant in her dress. "My baby sister's all grown up. Stop it or I'll cry before the ceremony even starts." As guests began arriving, I headed to find our seats. Melissa had disappeared with her mother earlier, saying they needed to check something. I scanned the seating chart near the entrance. Family was supposed to be in the front rows. I found Melissa's name in the second row next to her parents. My parents, Robert and Linda, were in the first row, but my name wasn't there. "Looking for something?" The venue coordinator approached. "My seat. I'm the bride's brother." "Oh, Ethan. Yes, there was a last-minute change." She pointed to a single chair placed in the hallway, just outside the main ceremony area. "Space issues, apparently." I stood there stunned as guests filed past me into the ceremony space. From my seat, I could barely see the altar. As I tried to make sense of this, I caught Diane's eye as she walked by. She looked directly at me, a satisfied smirk playing across her lips before she continued on, taking her place in the second row where I should have been. I stood frozen in the hallway, staring at that single chair. My own sister's wedding, and I'd been literally pushed aside. The ceremony went by in a blur. I could barely see Rachel and Jake exchange vows from my spot. At the reception, I cornered Melissa. "What the hell happened with my seat? Did you know about this?" "I'm sorry. Mom said there was a last-minute change with the seating chart. A change that put me in the hallway while everyone else got to see my sister get married? She told me it was what Rachel wanted, that you two had some argument. That's complete bullshit. Rachel asked me to be her man of honor just last week. I tried to say something, but Mom insisted. You know how she gets." When I finally found Rachel, she seemed confused. "Where were you sitting? I couldn't see you." "In the hallway, apparently." "What? No, that's not right. Diane told me you wanted to sit in the back so you could slip out early if needed. She said you didn't want a big role in the wedding." "She said what?" "Rach, I've been excited about your wedding for months." "I don't understand. She showed me texts from you." The next morning, I dug through old emails. I found one from my boss from 3 months ago asking why I hadn't shown up for the department dinner. I called my parents. "Did you get my birthday card from Mom last year?" "What card, honey?" Linda asked. "We figured you were too busy." When Melissa woke up, I confronted her again. "Has your mother been intercepting my messages to people?" "What are you talking about?" "Your mom told Rachel I didn't want to be involved. My boss thought I blew off a dinner. My parents never got cards I sent." "That's crazy. Why would she do that? Before we got married, did she ever show you texts from me? Melissa looked away. She showed me messages where you complained about me. I never sent those. She faked them somehow. That's impossible. Is it? Look at the pattern. She systematically turned everyone against me. I spent the day making calls. Jake mentioned Diane told him I resented him for taking my sister away. My cousin thought I'd ignored her wedding invitation. Melissa's brother believed I'd refused to help with his move. By evening, I had a notebook full of incidents, all pointing to Diane's calculated campaign. I need proof, I told Melissa. Concrete evidence no one can deny. I needed someone who knew Diane better than anyone else. That's how I found myself sitting across from Frank, Melissa's father, at a diner downtown. They'd been divorced for 15 years and Melissa rarely mentioned him. I'm not surprised. Frank stirred his coffee slowly. Diane pulled the same stunts during our marriage. Mysterious messages I never sent. Friends who suddenly stopped calling. How did she do it? She's tech-savvy, always has been. Works in IT, remember? Probably cloned your phone or hacked your accounts. Did you ever confront her? Frank laughed bitterly. Tried once. She had everyone convinced I was paranoid, even had Melissa believing it. That's when I knew I had to leave. I leaned forward. The family reunion next month. Everyone will be there, including Diane. That's my chance. You'll need more than accusations. Diane is always 3 steps ahead. Back home, I set up a new email account and contacted a tech expert who confirmed my suspicions. Diane had installed spyware on my phone during a family dinner 3 months ago. Got a minute? I asked Melissa that evening, showing her the tech expert's report. Her face went pale. This can't be real. It is, and there's more. I pulled out my notebook. Every time something important happened, your mom was involved. But why would she do this? Control. She never thought I was good enough for you. Melissa started crying. I knew she could be difficult, but this is sick. I need your help. The family reunion is our chance to expose everything. For the first time, I saw real anger in Melissa's eyes. What do we need to do? Over the next 2 weeks, we built our case. I set up fake conversations for Diane to intercept, then documented how she altered them. Melissa pretended to confide in her mother, recording Diane's manipulative responses. We reached out to Frank again, who agreed to help. He still had old emails proving Diane's past manipulations. She'll deny everything, Melissa warned, as we sorted through evidence. Not if we present it all at once with everyone there. We called Rachel and carefully explained we needed to talk to her at the reunion without revealing why. Is everything okay with you and Melissa? We're fine, just trust me on this one, Rach. I contacted my parents next. There's something important I need to clear up at the reunion. Sounds serious, honey, Linda said. Is this about the wedding? Diane mentioned you were upset about something. Of course she did. It's about a lot of things. I'll explain everything then. The night before the reunion, Melissa and I finalized our plan. Are you sure about this? Her voice trembled. She's still my mother, and she spent 2 years trying to destroy us. She humiliated me at your sister's wedding. She's turned your family and mine against me. Melissa took a deep breath. You're right. I've spent my whole life making excuses for her behavior. Not anymore. I packed all our evidence recordings, screenshots, testimonials from friends who'd been manipulated into a single folder. Tomorrow, everyone learns the truth about Diane. The family reunion was at my parents' backyard. Melissa and I arrived early to set up our evidence on her laptop. Frank showed up minutes later, looking nervous but determined. You ready for this? He handed me a flash drive. Found some old emails I forgot about. More proof. Perfect timing. Diane arrived with her signature fake smile, making a beeline for Rachel and Jake. She barely acknowledged me. Once everyone had settled with food, I stood up and clinked my glass. I have something important to share with everyone. Diane immediately cut in. Oh, Ethan, let's not bring up work at a family gathering. This isn't about work, it's about why I was seated in the hallway at Rachel's wedding. The backyard went silent. Melissa connected her laptop to the TV my dad had set up for the football game later. For 2 years, Diane has been systematically turning all of you against me. I pulled up the first screenshot. These are text messages Diane showed Rachel, claiming they were from me, saying I didn't want to be involved in the wedding. Rachel's mouth fell open. Here's the phone cloning software Diane installed on my phone during Thanksgiving dinner. I played the tech expert's video explanation. This is ridiculous. Diane stood up, face flushed. He's making this all up. Mom, stop. Melissa's voice was steady. We have proof. One by one, I displayed the evidence. Emails never delivered, fake messages, altered invitations. With each revelation, family members exchanged shocked glances. She told me Ethan refused to help with my move, Melissa's brother Tyler said. I've been cold to him for months because of it. She showed me texts where he supposedly called me a desperate old hag. My mother Linda added quietly. Diane looked around frantically. You're all going to believe these doctored screenshots? He's clearly manipulating you? Like you manipulated everyone at my wedding? Rachel was crying now. You purposely put my brother in the hallway and told me it was what he wanted? I have one more piece of evidence, I said, nodding to Frank. He played a recording from 15 years ago. Diane admitting to similar manipulations during their marriage. This has been your pattern for decades, Frank said. It stops today. Diane's facade finally cracked. I was protecting my daughter from making a mistake. He's not good enough for her. That wasn't your decision to make, Melissa replied. You've hurt everyone in this family with your lies. One by one, family members walked away from Diane, clustering around me with apologies and shocked questions. 3 hours later, as people were leaving, Diane approached me alone. I may have gone too far sometimes. I'm sorry if you felt hurt. If you systematically tried to destroy my relationships and reputation, you humiliated me at my sister's wedding. I'm apologizing, aren't I? What more do you want? I want nothing from you. Not your apology, not your presence, nothing. 6 months later, our family has healed. Rachel and I are closer than ever. Melissa and I see her father Frank regularly. Even my in-laws have warmed up considerably. As for Diane, she sends occasional texts trying to work her way back in. They all go unanswered. Some people don't deserve second chances. What would you do if you discovered a family member had been systematically sabotaging your relationships for years? Would you cut them out completely like Ethan did? Or would you give them another chance after an apology? Is blood really thicker than water when it comes to toxic family members? Share your thoughts in the comments below. If you enjoyed this revenge story and want to hear more like it, don't forget to hit that like button and subscribe to the channel for new stories every week. Your support helps us create more content just like this.